Okay, this is a practice of howdy doody.
Very good.
That's right. Good morning. Yeah, wow, good to see you. Welcome to the Sunday morning celebration service at Unity of Santa Barbara, and welcome all of you that are here in the beautiful body that you've been given, the vessel, and welcome all of you that are online and at home, and we vibrate together. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, had a radio show. Everybody tuned in, and so we're all tuning in as we do to remember to sort of calm down and wake up to who the heck we are in this life journey, in this path. So we're looking at gratitude, the month of November. So remember that song, "Tell Me Something Good"? So tell me something good. What's good going on in your life? It's sun is shining. Santa Barbara. I navigated the traffic getting here. They closed Carrillo. Anybody live over there? Yeah, it was creative. Anybody else? Something good?
I got my tax return.
A tax return. I'm liking it. All right. And good. Think of it, at home. Just holler something out. Tell me something good. Happy to be here. I'm alive. Life is good. Yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah, very good. Isn't it? And I will tell you, everyone's vibration to tell me something good blesses all of us. Can you feel it? It's like, wow, something shifted. And that is our opportunity that we'll be certainly talking about today, but to really practice the skill of gratitude. So let's just sit for a moment. You did a lot of things to get here, whether it was just tuning in to your Wi-Fi or, actually bringing yourself to this sanctuary. There's a lot of energy and effort to come to be together. And you're here, and now it's really time to relax and receive. And so I invite you to focus on the breath, because the breath really, at the bottom line is breathing's the whole gig. Without breathing, this life doesn't work. So pay attention to this precious breath. And as you breathe in a sense of gratitude. And you may think of something, the chair I'm sitting in, this beautiful city in which I live, but mainly the life I've been given. And breathe out a sense of fullness. And we breathe in love, feeling the love for ourselves, for some precious being in your life. And breathe out a sense of peace. And let's breathe in this place of being supported, never being alone. And you breathe out sense of community. So we are in the beingness of spirit. We bring our beingness, and it blesses others, and it allows us to feel just a little more alive, a little more like the light of the world that we are. This is the day that Spirit has made, and let us rejoice and be glad in it. And so it is. Amen. So we're going to shake up our service a little. I've realized, routine is sort of meant to be massaged. It keeps us alive, awake, and enthusiastic. And so I'm going to talk about this being the light of the world right here and right now. This light is the physical outside light, but the real light is inside. And like Motel 6, it never goes out. All right? I know it's from Scripture, Motel 6. So anyway, so I'd like you to put your hand on your heart area, and we're going to say, I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. Let's do it together. I am the light of the world. And just to let you know, that is true, and so is your neighbor. Yeah. So we look at our neighbor and we say, you are the light of the world. And you can just glance around. You're the light of the world. If you're home, you may say it to your pet. You are the light of the world. Yeah. There's a lot of yous in this sanctuary. Yes. So let us now rub our hands together in that wonderful light of the world, and then we're going to just open this up to all sentient beings on this planet, all things, all plants, animals, all two-leggeds, four-leggeds, the flying and the swimming, and we hold our hands up and we say, we are the light of the world. Let's say that together. We are the light of the world. What a beautiful vibration. Okay. So it is a wonderful day to be in the gratitude that you are, and we are all going to rise and sing a song that hasn't been sung here for a little while. It's called Down in My Soul. So I'd like you all, we are so blessed to have Nathalie, Nesh with us today, and our wonderful trio of Woody DeMarco and Randy, and we have a new gentleman on our, he's not new to the world, but new to this moment with us, is Rex Harte. So we welcome Rex, Randy, Tico. Let's all stand and sing Down in My Soul. Thank you, Nathalie.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. And the whole wide world is my home.
Get that over here. I'm Lynda Whitley, and it's my pleasure to be platform host today. And so I'm going to be reading the daily word. As soon as I get to the right place. What's today? There we are, November the 14th.
You got it.
The word for today is prosperity. And the affirmation is, prosperity fills my life. So would you affirm with me that simple affirmation? Prosperity fills my life. And I'll read it. Current flowing through my home's wiring provides light, but first I must flip the switch to turn it on. Divine substance, that building block of creation, is the source from which all my prosperity grows. But first, I must claim it in my consciousness in order to live a prosperous life. The divine idea of prosperity is unlimited, more than sufficient to meet every need. I know true prosperity when I live from that truth. Giving freely and generously keeps prosperity at the forefront of my consciousness. I know the more I give, the more of myself I place into circulation, the more I will experience. As I give of myself, I increase the flow of prosperity in my life and in the world. And that's from Mark 4:24. And he said to them, pay attention to what you hear. The measure you give will be the measure you get, and still more will be given you. So when I found out that today was my day to be on the platform and to get to read the daily word, and I looked it up and I saw that it was prosperity, I thought, oh, good. Because there's so much in unity that we can talk about with respect to prosperity. And then the more I read it, the phrase that flipped out, that stuck out to me, that jumped out to me was, first I must flip the switch. And I kept thinking about that, flip the switch. That means turn on my consciousness and my awareness of what and who I am. And it says in here, divine substance, the building block of creation, is the source from which my prosperity grows. But first I must claim it in my consciousness. So then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, this is really all about the power of our minds, what we think, what we believe. And that makes an enormous difference, because those thoughts, whatever we believe in there, that affects everything, how we see the world, how we respond to the world, how we interact with the world. And then I started thinking about, when did I learn that? When did I first learn that was important, what I thought? And I remember I had heard that Abraham Lincoln once said, folks are usually about as happy as they make up their mind to be. And if you're coming like I was from a place of not knowing anything about how important it is what we believe, that was sort of something to think about, as happy as I make up my mind to be. And I'm going back to a time when I was in my 20s and 30s. I was a young adult. I was working. I had a career. That had been my choice. I wanted to be a scientist, and I was working with computer systems, and life was bubbling along. But I was not content. I was looking for something. I had a relationship with a God, but I still felt very insecure about knowing how to live. And I was living in Minneapolis, St. Paul. I was sitting in my condominium one day, and I was thinking about, how do people learn how to live? And I thought, if I wanted to learn to speak French, I know exactly what to do. I could go to Alliance Française, I could take classes, I could learn to speak French. If I wanted to learn to cook, I knew what to do. There's a cooking school I could go, I could take classes. But where is Life 101? Where do you get that? And I thought, in college, I took Chemistry 101, but there was no Life 101. And that was a period of my life when I was doing a lot of seeking and exploring. And shortly after that, a friend called me and said, oh, I went to this wonderful seminar. It was out at this place called the Cynical, which was a retreat center on the western side of Minneapolis. She said, it was a wonderful seminar, and you would just love it. Well, that was a period when I went to a lot of seminars and workshops, and I was really open to listening to a lot of things. So I signed up and I went. And I got there on the Saturday morning, and I went in and I sat down, 10 or 15 people, and they gave me a notebook, and I sat down. And the lesson started, and they were talking about the power of our minds, how our mind works. We have this conscious mind, and we have this subconscious mind. And they were talking about the subconscious mind is sort of like a heat-seeking missile. When you put an idea into it, a belief into it, You're going to go after it. You're going to see the world in that light. You're going to react to the world in that light. And you're going to live that way. So it's very important to know, what are these beliefs that we have in there that are guiding us, that are making such a big difference in our life? And so they introduced the idea of affirmations, that we can say a statement, an affirmation, and affect what we believe and therefore how we live. The first affirmation was, God, you love me. I love myself, and I like loving myself. That was a big step. At that time, I didn't love myself. I didn't think I was quite okay. I wasn't okay enough. And so that started me on a path of really paying attention and wanting to know, what do I believe? And looking at old beliefs that didn't serve me well, and then having to replace them with something that did. Well, I was sitting in that seminar this first day, and we came to the end of the session at the day, and it was time to take a break. And they told us to go back to our rooms and take some quiet time and write down an affirmation or two that would be ours. And so I was sitting in my seat, and I closed my notebook. And I had never looked at it when I first got there. And on the front was the title of the seminar. It was called Effective Living. That's what I call a burning bush moment. Not very long before that, I had not knowingly asked God, but had pondered the question, how do you learn how to live? And a few weeks later, I'm sitting there, effective living. And that was really powerful. And since then, we hear that in Unity. I used to hear all the time, we are co-creators with God. And Unity says what we hold in mind, what we hold in mind manifests after its own kind. And so what we think is truly powerful. And that's our message here in the Daily Word today. We have to flip the switch. We have to bring it into our consciousness, that which we want to believe. Okay, thank you.
Keep on giving for your kindness. I'm indebted to you for your selflessness, my admiration for everything you've done. I'm about to thank on giving for your kindness. I'm in debt to you, and I never could have come this far without you. For everything you've done, you know I'm about to thank you for it. La 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 I want to thank you for so many gifts you gave, the love, the tenderness. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your generosity, the love and the honesty that you gave me. I want to thank you, show my gratitude, my love, and my respect for you. I want to thank you. Sing with me, unity. I wanna thank you, 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 thank you. One more time, go. I wanna thank you, 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 thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Oof. That gratitude stuff is very powerful, isn't it? Wow. Wow. Well, I think it's a perfect time to thank our veterans. Yeah? You know, this was Veterans Day this week, and I would like to offer heartfelt appreciation to all our veterans for your service to our country. Your dedication and commitment to the ideals of our democracy are an inspiration. May we all work together to aspire to those ideals as a way to honor your service and sacrifice. And if you are a veteran of this country, please stand up. We have a flower to give you and a big, warm hand of applause. Thank you. I thought, where should we put that thank you to the veterans? Oh, right there. Right there would be good. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Whitley. I hope you all are allowing yourselves to feel gratitude. You know, I just went and spent 7 days in silence. I know, nobody ever believes me, but it is true. And after I got finished railing at the universe and looking at all the things that Lynda was talking about, all these beliefs that the prison that I keep myself in, because I don't know any better, right? What started to happen and what happens to everyone when we really stay committed to this path, and especially if you can give yourself the gift of some days of silence. The oneness that you start to feel with not only yourself and the beauty of just being the soul that you are, the connection with the universe and the connection with all the ideas of how blessed you've been to be here in this moment. You know, it will blow you away when you start to think of all the people, all the events, all the circumstances that allowed you to be this great soul that you are. You know, starting from people that, you know, you were born and somebody had to teach you how to walk and how to, you know, eat, and you probably fell down a bunch, but somebody kept picking you up, and somebody taught you how to talk. And I mean, some of us in Texas didn't learn that so well, but you know, whatever. And how to spell and all that stuff. You know, when you walked into a classroom, you might have seen all those letters around the side of the room, and you thought, what the heck are these things? And pretty soon you knew how to put the letters together and write and spell and read. And it's really phenomenal when you start to say thank you, when you start to realize your mind cannot contain it. And it is if you want a high, that's a high. And it is a tremendous practice, and it kind of sort of amazes one that you'd ever have a day, you'd ever have a moment where you weren't more interested in that than all the ways that maybe life is not working. And I feel very blessed to have been part of, it is part of the unity consciousness and these teachings that actually motivated me to go be quiet for any period of time, because I really didn't understand. You know, I thought it was about manipulating God or the universe, or if I acted some way or another way. And then most of us, I guess, heard that we were going to hell, and maybe we'd had the experience of being unhappy for so long, we were just like, well, whatever, who cares? You know, and so I think what we're healing with gratitude is really this oneness with your Creator, with our Creator, and creation, and feeling an absolute oneness with it, which is the truth, rather than any separation from it. And we just practice. You know, it's a skill. I like the idea of being skillful or unskillful, not right or wrong or bad or good. And so I will tell you about some of these experiences of gratitude and of, you know, kind of the funny part of that we all are very, very funny. The things that we think, the ways we act, and the idea of rather than beating ourselves up with it, because about 2 days in, I heard the teacher said, this is a practice of compassion, of being kind to yourself. I'm like, oh yeah, because I had a list of all the things I should do differently. And then it was like, wow, this isn't how this works. It's just, you know, noticing where, I may not have wanted to act like that a moment ago, and now just the noticing of it, and the gratitude piece really shifts it. So we are looking at a book that you can read or not read. It's just one of many things that has been written about gratitude. But this was a man named John Kralik. And see if you can relate to John. John was 50 years old. He was 40 pounds overweight. He'd been running a law firm for 28 years. He was a lawyer, and he couldn't pay his bills. And he was not feeling not only the connection with his soul, he was not feeling any level of gratitude. In fact, what he said, that when there was a man looking across, when he was having lunch with someone, he described what this man was seeing. And what he said he had in his eyes was terrified sadness. Have you ever experienced that sense of that terrified sadness, meaning something's happening in your life and you just don't know how to fix it? You don't have enough information. You don't think you do. You know, you just feel stuck and afraid and scared and hopeless, and you've come to the end of your rope. A lot of addicts or people that have hit, maybe they're spiritual, what they call your, I'm spacing out on this, your bottom, right? Not the backside of you, but your bottom. Your bottom in that I can't go on like this. Mm-hmm. And then something happens, and it usually happened to us before we came into a Unity Center, was I don't get this spiritual thing. I don't believe in even the word God for a lot of people is like, I don't get that word. It's been drilled into me that it was an old man in the sky for so long, the word doesn't feel like love. It doesn't feel like compassion. So we come in here and we realize, it's not about a word. It's about an experience. It's about experiencing this life right here and right now. because this breath is all we have. And that's why, and that's really wonderful, but it's so simple that our mind is like, oh, there's got to be more to figure out than that. It's got to be more complicated than just breathe. But that's kind of it, because if you're not just breathing, you're definitely not here. So let's start with the basics, because I don't know about you, but my mind wants to, I need a degree in breathing. I need an agenda. How do you breathe? We breathe. Let's just breathe. Yeah. And just let yourself be present. So what John, he was, thank heavens, became willing to, he didn't know he was being willing, but there was a place where he became so miserable that what he did is he went on a hike. And this is the thing with meditation. People will say to me all the time, I don't know how to meditate. I need to learn how to meditate. And I'll say, weren't you just hiking yesterday? Or weren't you just painting yesterday? Or weren't you just playing with your child or your pet? Meditation is a place where you're in a relaxed state and you are so involved with what you're doing that the rest of the world goes away. I saw Sedona putting these flowers together yesterday. She was meditating. In fact, she says, I don't want anyone else in this sanctuary. I want to do this by myself. I'm like, no problem. No problem, right? Because she wants her meditation. So John goes on a walk New Year's Day, and this is what he heard when he was walking. He heard, until you learn to be grateful for the things you have, you will not receive the things you want. Okay, now that's a little punitive in general. I wouldn't be putting that together to have you guys repeat this. But at the time, he needed this kind of slap on the face because he was so asleep to his gifts. He was so asleep to who he was. And so he heard this from where, right? From inside. Yeah, he heard this. And so this is a soul that's within him is saying, hello, will you listen to me, please? You know, our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore, healed herself of an illness. Okay, she didn't do that on the way to Costco. Okay, she didn't do that by, I got to get back to all these emails. She didn't do this by, I got to go, take care of the plumbing in the house. She didn't do that. She sat and she listened. And she sat and she listened. And I can promise you, when I was sitting and listening, it was like, come on, what a waste of time, right? I got to get out of here. But there were 100 people doing the same thing. And I believe we all believe, that there is something bigger in me than my fear, than my worry. I mean, I absolutely, if I know anything, love the back of Oprah's magazine, these things I know for sure. And this I know for sure is that if one is willing to sit and listen to the divinity within, you'll always get your answer. And sometimes it might be you really need to, act differently. But that's what Myrtle got. And that's why we really are, if we're students of unity, we want to be so interested, curious as to what the heck is going on with this soul journey that I'm on, that happens to be in this body, that is a wonderful vessel and that I want to take really good care of. It's a dangling participle, Mother, I know if you're watching, that just came out. So, of which I am living, I don't know. So the idea is that this is what he heard, and he started to ponder, this is a practice that I don't know about. And he went home, and his ex-girlfriend, who had left him and said, I like you, but I want to be with someone that's present, that's available. And you're not here, you're worried, you're always gone, you're always not present. And she'd written him a thank you note. And she said, I loved your presence, I love who you are, and thank you for the this or that. And he read it, and he just realized this isn't about trying to manipulate. This is just pure gratitude energy. He also thought back to a time when his grandfather had said, I'm going to give you a silver dollar, and the kids can hear this one. I'm going to give you a silver dollar, and if you'll write me a thank you note, I'll give you another one. Okay, so it wasn't motivated by pure spirit, but the metaphoric idea is that if I live in gratitude, something else will show up that is a blessing, right? Because what's happened, it's not for that person, it's because something opened in you that was more true, right? And that's the whole game here, is that something opens in us that's more true. So he started writing thank you notes, and his commitment, and I'm asking you all to just give this a try if you want to be happier. It's your choice, right? That he wrote a thank you note every day for 365 days. And the book is called The Simple Act of Gratitude, because it's very simple. Thank you notes, a pen, some stamps. And they do sell stamps still, right? So it's a practice. And then what happened in his life was extraordinary. The first one he wrote was to his son. He was so estranged from his son, he didn't even know his son's address. So he calls his son and he said, can you give me your address? I've got a note for you. And his son said, I really have been wanting to ask you for lunch. So they meet for lunch. He said, this is weird because I haven't seen my son in about a year, and they meet for lunch. And his son said, Dad, I forgot. I mean, maybe you forgot, but I owe you $1,000. And I brought it. Here's $1,000. And he'd forgotten all about the loan. He really needed some resources at that moment. And he thought, that thank you note, all I had to do, right, was write the thank you note. And the energy shifted his world. Do we get it? Are you all right? Who's writing some thank you notes? Anybody out here? Yeah, right. Okay. Have you noticed your own energy shifting a bit? Thank you. Is there a little sentence you want to say about that?
It makes me look for how I can thank people and what I should thank them for. It makes me look for it.
Ding dong. Ding, 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 ding is what I want to say. Ding dong. Thank you. And do you notice that you are more open to receive by doing that? Would that be true? Yeah. Right, okay. Because this is the thing. It's not our minds, I don't have time to think, oh my gosh, okay, now I got to look around. Heidi set this up. It's another, dumb thing that Unity's making me do, whatever. Right? But the point is, it forces you to start thinking about all of the blessings. All right? Now, have we been blessed by people? Like in really weird, strange ways? Yeah, I mean, it's bizarre to me when I start looking at the blessings that have come in the most strange ways. So there's two ways of gratitude that I want to talk about today. There's proactive and reflective. Now, proactive is what we teach here, and it's like the picnic today. I could think about, gosh, is she going to be okay? And is there enough people going to show up? Is there going to be enough food? I can go there. Or I could say, wow, it's going to flow. It's going to be amazing. I'll even taste the food and feel all juicy and wonderful about it. That's proactive gratitude. And let me tell you, it's so powerful. Has anybody ever done that? Like before you're going to meet somebody, just decide maybe somebody where there's some, I don't know what's going to happen, that you think you see it really pleasant and really easy, and that person's smiling. Every time I do that, it's amazing to see how my energy and your energy is affecting this world. We're vibration, right? I forgot to do this, but I'm just going to do it real quickly so we can just get it here, because this is wild to know the vibration. Sven's like, why did you do that? Anyway, but do we see it gets us because there's a vibration there that gets our attention. Right? And this is the vibration we're talking about with gratitude. So I had a really interesting moment, many moments out there at a place called Spirit Rock. And I would invite anyone to, it reopened, which was, my Mecca, because what they do there is so holy and beautiful, and the container that they hold for people is amazing. It's spiritrock.org, and all they do are silent retreats. And it's an incredible place from how many people are there all the time in all ages, young and middle and older and all of it. But this practice of, like Myrtle, it's for us to stop the doingness and sit in the beingness at first is so odd. It's what, I was watching, I felt really sad at first and angry. And instead of saying I am angry, the words would be, anger is visiting. Where am I feeling it? Frustration is visiting. Where am I feeling it? And what I noticed was a habit that many people might understand, overdoing. That's not getting done. Well, my plate's full, but I'm going to do that too. And then I'm going to do that too. And then I'll just pick that up. And then, somebody drops some, well, I'll pick that one up too. And who's doing that? I am, right? It's a habit. It's a deep, deep, deep habit. Anybody have the habit of overdoing? Right? Okay. So I saw a bumper sticker once, said, "Stay busy, Jesus is coming back." I'm like, what? What? I'm like, what? Well, number one, if Jesus is coming, why would I want to be busy? I'd be like, hey, Jesus. But this isn't how life works, right? I mean, multitasking to me is just blasphemy, right? I learned, I watched a film where I'm going to show here on Francis of Assisi, and the quote was, "Do one thing and do it well. Take your time, go slowly." Shall we try it? All right. Do one thing and do it well. Take your time, go slowly. Yeah, right? I got that when I was a flight attendant, because at the beginning of the aisle, it's like, oh, back here, I'm like, oh, no, I'm on this aisle. But I'll get back to you. Do one thing and do it. Right? And I mean, it kept me sane. So this is our opportunity, you all, the gratitude is like when you see that thing, to write the thank you note, to feel it, to really be present. Thich Nhat Hanh tells us that to walk as if you're kissing the earth with your feet. See, what we miss a lot is this amazing planet, and I will say I kind of want to exclude this group a touch, because you all do get out and enjoy nature here. It's almost like, how can you avoid it? But the ability to really be, as I was there and I would do the hiking on the silent walks, I couldn't help but hug the trees. And it's not that I'm becoming a Californian. it's because I was like, my tree, my friend, thank you for teaching me about how you have to be rooted. Thank you for teaching me about the strength of not needing to be another tree, not need to pick up the next tree's stuff. You're here. And you're good, and you're solid, And it was just the natural connection that we have with everything that's alive. So I want to show you, one of my new practices is a yoga out in the park. And I like it because it's in the park, right? And so I was doing yoga the other day, and I looked down at my arm, and something's crawling on my arm, and it's a ladybug. Yeah, she came off the grass, and then she just comes onto my arm, and I'm just looking at her, and then after my phone, unfortunately, is somewhat close by, and so I take it, and I take a picture of her. My yoga teacher is just like, what is Heidi doing over there with her phone? And, but the point was, I felt that sweet connection, just, I'm here, I'm present, right? That ladybug wasn't moving fast. It wasn't doing, oh, gotta go into ladybug, hurry up. It was just going along my arm. And I will tell you the peace that I felt from just being one with that ladybug. So where is it in your life that you can have the breath, the ladybug, the peace, the presence? Because that's how we finally get into reflective gratitude, which is the other gratitude, which is when you look back at your life and you say, I learned that from that person. You may be sending a thank you note to somebody you never thought you'd send a thank you note to. Thank you for helping me love myself more. I got into self-care because you treated me so badly. No, you don't want to say that. But anyway, but I got into, you helped me learn about self-care. There, the Western songs are full of it. It says there's a Western song that is, I'm so sad since you left me, it's almost like you're still here. Right? Yes. So however you write your thank you note, but make sure it's kind, you can laugh about it, but there's a place where we start to see the joy even in the frustrating moments. Alphonse Carr has a quote that says, we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice that thorns have roses. Yes. I was just putting up a rose just yesterday, and I was like, ow, that thorn hurts. And I'm like, oh, but look at the rose. Look at the rose. He talks about reading. He had a little bitty apartment at this time, the author, and he talks about being in this cruddy apartment that he thought, I should have something better. I should have something bigger. See, he wasn't appreciating just what he had. And his daughter would come over and they would read together. And his daughter loved it there. They made a tent in the living room and they had their reading time. And the little girl could have cared less about the size of this apartment, right? It was his story. And he started to recognize it was his story. And what she wanted to read was Pollyanna. And he thought, Pollyanna? Isn't Pollyanna some story of some naive, girl just kind of putting on the joy? But as he read about Pollyanna, Pollyanna was quite a metaphysician. Pollyanna was an orphan that was then raised by relatives that didn't really like her. And her father, right before he died, he taught her the glad game. And the glad game is to look at whatever it is in life and find something to be glad about, whatever it is. There's a story of a family that took their child to a farm, and the little kid ran in this room. There was all this manure, and the family was like, "Why are you playing in the manure?" And he said, "There's got to be a pony in here somewhere." Yeah, you've heard that, but I use that all the time. And this is the thing with Pollyanna. Pollyanna had a really tough experience of not having joyful people around her. But Pollyanna's story is all about what we teach here at Unity, is that she decided to do this glad game, which was for her, right? And shifted her way of seeing things. And later in her life, she was in a car accident. She, was not able to use her legs. And because of all the people in her community that she taught about the glad game, they all came back to support her when she needed help. Have you noticed how people around here help each other? You all are an incredible group of people that all hear somebody's sick and somebody else is bringing food, or somebody else did this, or someone lost this, or someone's sad and somebody else is right on top of that. You practice this because this is how gratitude stays alive. It's recognizing that not only are we not alone, the way that gratitude keeps going is to look for that good, but not for some reason of this is some kind of goofy practice, because it's there. It's there every time. And it's very humbling when you can see the good, or when you find out someone's story that you didn't know. You just thought they were a crab apple, and then you find out what happened to them. So I have a humbling story. We not only sit in silence, we eat in silence. And you get to watch all the ways that somebody took the last bit of the oatmeal. Oh, another divine child of God. She just took all the oatmeal. Let's breathe. And there was a gentleman, and I don't know why, but we'd always get to the refrigerator at the same time, and he had a number of things to do with his cup for tea. Something, let's put the tea in, and then it's hot, and then it's not, but he spent quite a while there at the refrigerator, and somehow I ended up behind him a lot. And what I'd heard is that patience is not like a struggle, it's a willingness. That, to me, was quite a breakthrough. So I'm like, I'm willing to be patient. So this man, he was my teacher. I didn't actually ask him to be my teacher, but he was my teacher. And I stood there and I waited, and then I would get my, little hard-boiled egg, and I was like, look how fast I move, and look how slow everybody else moves. Your head is just making up stuff, and I got to watch it. So toward the end, I was sitting across from this man. We eat in silence. You sit across from people sometimes. And so I just noticed, here in my head, here's the slow man. Here he is. Here he is, I'm so holy. Here's the slow man. Okay, so he's in front of me, and we're eating, and I'm just observing my breath and my food and all of this. So I finish my food, and he puts something in a napkin and passes it over to me. And it's like kind of breaking the rules, but whatever. And so I pick up the napkin and I open it, and it's this beautiful piece of chocolate. Right, and here's this man, I'm like, God, slow man, behind him again, oh my gosh, and here's this, I look up, and the look in his eyes, and I just look at him, and the tears just start to come, because he's just, I am a benevolent being, you're a little messed up, but here's some chocolate. And and you see the love in his heart, and my gosh, it's good people can't hear your thoughts, right? And I just had that moment of, isn't it weird that I want to move so fast that maybe I would miss somebody being kind? You know, someone sharing their heart with me, someone giving to me. I may move so fast, I don't even receive in life. I may move so fast, I may be in such a victim mode of overdoing and over-planning, and I'm so tired, and why is the world like this? I might miss someone that just wants to give me some chocolate. So our opportunity, my friends, is to just keep writing those thank you notes and to notice the crazy, crazy world the universe is plotting for your good. The most bizarre things, and it's usually the person that you think is the slow man. That's the one that's like, here. I want to close with this quote and a little story. Well, I do want to, from Scripture, it's from Isaiah, it says, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the desert and streams in the wasteland. See, that chocolate was the stream in the wasteland. That moment was God's spirit love within me, God here talking to God here. And it was something I'll never forget. And it had nothing to do with moving fast. And it had nothing to do with finishing my meal and cleaning up the table or whatever else I thought. It had to do with breathing and being present. So Alfred North Whitehead said, no one achieves success. No one who achieves success does it without acknowledging the help of others. The wise and confident acknowledge this help with gratitude. There's a beautiful man named Pharrell Williams that you all know as a musician. He wrote a little ditty called Happy. And because it was done with that pure essence of just being happy, the way that the world worked, people all over the world started making videos and dancing to that song. Now, like receiving that chocolate that kind of broke me open, I'd like you to watch, and this is for all of us when we're receiving from places we did not expect. I'd like you to watch Pharrell and Oprah and Pharrell's that emotionality of receiving. So here we go.
Zero airplay, nothing. And the next thing you know, we put out the video on November 21st. All of a sudden, boom.
Boom.
I mean, when I say boom,
You mean
boom.
yeah.
And we were like, what's happening? Okay, first of all, people are putting up their own videos.
Yeah.
It was like no longer my song.
Yeah. I think we actually have a tape. Can we roll the tape of that? When people started putting videos around the world of themselves getting happy.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Slovakia, Portugal.
Here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way.
It's just amazing.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
Makes me cry too. Makes me cry too. You know, I was just thinking about your grandmother. I bet she didn't even imagine that. No. No. Bet she didn't even imagine that. I know. I know. I know. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Why am I crying on Oprah?
You know, it's being used for something that's greater than yourself. I get that.
It's overwhelming because it's like, I love what I do, and I just appreciate the fact that, like, people have believed in me for so long that I could make it to this point, to feel that. Sorry.
I get it. I really get it. I so now get why it's so infectious, because it came from such a clear space that the energy was absolutely uninterrupted by anything other than allowing it to flow from heart to heart. And that's what happens when you see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful, right? Yes, and so this is Pharrell with Happy. We will be seeing it later, and that's the man with the chocolate. You know, this is our pure essence, and that's why gratitude is so important to remember, because then your ability to just give from that free, open place where you would just say, oh, I am this vessel of love. I am a vessel through which creativity flows. I'm closing with our last quote from Melody Beattie. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. Let us sit with this beautiful soul and spirit that we are. I'm going to give you some words again with the, we're just going to do the do one thing and do it well. We'll just do that. So I invite you to sing with me, and I'll do one line, and then we can, if you all want to sing back, do one thing and do it well. Do one thing and do it well. Take your time, go slowly. Take your time, go slowly. One more. Do one thing and do it well. Take your time, go slowly. Take your time, go slowly. Let's breathe. Let's do that one thing. This is a simple, simple act. This life is so simple. It's so sweet. It's so present. It doesn't involve strain or stress. It doesn't involve avoidance. It doesn't involve pushing back or grasping. It involves breathing. Letting yourself breathe deeply. Breathing deeply, letting your stomach push out when you breathe. And we just exhale in the sense of, I don't have to make this happen. I am being breathed by the universe. Christ in me, Buddha in me, Spirit in me, love in me, as me, all around me. I rest in the sweetness of the ease, the compassion, the kindness to myself. And from there, all blessings flow. Breathing is like a beautiful breeze, a beautiful way of resting into life. Everything that will occur comes from that peacefulness. I root, like my beautiful teachers, the trees, I root in ease and peace and receiving. It blows my mind to know what it is that just is always unfolding within each and every one of us without any effort. Our only opportunity, our only invitation is to be curious. I'm curious. My childlike wonder allows me to be curious about all the gifts I've been given, to say thank you for the awakening of my soul. What else could my life possibly be about? I am here and all is well. And so it is. Thanks for breathing with me. Sweet stuff. All right, so we are celebrating our abundance consciousness right now. We are giving from that fullness, from that place of joy. We are, as I said earlier, we're growing that good. Anybody else want to throw out something that's good in their life now that you think about it? Have you been here a little bit? I know we're coming back from very peaceful times here, but anyway, it's wonderful to just reflect what's good in my life, because there's so much, capital G good. All right, so we have a program that we put in place just for it to have a way of having some structure. It's called Growing the Good. You might have received this card. It's really a recurring giving program. Many of you were in the commitment program before, and so it's a way to, and if it's confusing online, I understand. If you want to talk to me or go to the office, that's one thing. If you're going to give by check, you do need to just mail it in right now. There isn't a way to give by a check, so we love people mailing in, whatever you got to do. Like I said, there's still stamps. That's good stuff. Our affirmation is that I am growing the good in me and at Unity of Santa Barbara. So let's say that. I am gratefully growing the good in me and at Unity of Santa Barbara. So our ushers will come through in a little bit when we're singing our song, and just give from that place, again, of fullness, of joy, of gratitude, of appreciation. And, it might be something you're sitting with about what all you've received from Unity. So let's see. Okay, so we're going to go on and bless the many ways. If you're online, there's a donate button. You can always go to unitysb.org. Our website is really so full of so much information, and there's a Growing the Good page that pops right up, and so you can be part of that. Let's bless this one of many channels of good. Oh, I do want to say, because I keep forgetting, if you are part of the commitment program, we have a gift for you that is a garden stake that says, I am growing the good at Unity of Santa Barbara. It's right there. So please come get one if you're part of our commitment program. So let's bless the one of many channels of good. You can just put your hands together, and here we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I share. And this one's called I'm So Grateful, but it goes gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude to the left of me. Oops, left is here, right of me. So, you can be involved like we do in our abundance. Okay, I'm so grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful.
Choked up. Oh, I thought you got choked up on the gratitude. That's just me. Anyway, yeah, yay. I thought you were going
Just is very full.
very full. All right. No, I love it. I love it. So thank you all. Oh, wait, you're singing another song. Ugh. Always get mixed up with this timing thing. We're so happy.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. Hot air balloon, you can go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm a happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm a happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm a happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Here come bad news talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm a happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm a happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm a happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Bring me down in nothing. Bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down in nothing. Bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down in nothing. Bring me down, my level's too high. Bring me down in nothing. Bring me down, because I'm a happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Bring me down and nothing. Bring me down, my love is too high. Bring me down and nothing. Bring me down, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Come on, unity. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you wanna do. Hey, come on, unity. Let me see you there.
got some energy. A room without a roof. I'm loving it. But I'm glad we got our roof fixed, just in case. Yes, it just occurred to me. Yeah, thank you, Nathalie. Now we have a Santa Barbara video, I'm just telling you. Okay, anybody here for the first time? We'd love to. We got a sunflower. I know, Nancy, you and Mike are back after a while. Can we give you a sunflower? Welcome home. Glad you're back. Yes. Oh, here's some sunflowers. There's somebody else new? Yeah, y'all be sure and wait. And what's your name? Adrienne. Welcome. And Nancy and Mike are back after how long? 20 years? Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all look like you're 20. How could that be? Anyway, welcome. Glad you're here. All right. So we want to celebrate November birthdays. We have a lot going on today. So if here we go. It's Nancy and Mike. Is it McConnell? Yes, beautiful. Well, I like the ice cream. So I don't know if you're involved with the ice cream, but I was like, okay, I remember that name. Okay, y'all, so if you're born in the month of November, I will be standing up. Please rise. We're going to sing happy birthday to you. We've got a flower for you. You know, this is a great thing to be born. We're going to say dear ones in their names, okay? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear loved ones. Wonderful. Happy birthday. I tell you, celebrate. I will be getting a rose myself because I'm November 29th. Hello already. Okay, now I do this so I get a flower, but all right. Okay, so Deborah Ernst is the one that gave the dough for the flowers. Thank you, Deborah. And Deborah here's her affirmation or her commitment here. It's her dedication, for heaven's sakes. These glorious flowers reflect the true beauty of our community, its prosperity, and its growth with loving care and gratitude towards each and every one of us. May we take pleasure and welcome the opportunity to express thankfulness today at Unity's Gratitude Luncheon. Deborah, thank you, dear one. Wow. They're beautiful, and they were designed by Sedona Vigliotta. So come on, they're just so gorgeous. Okie dokie. The picnic or the gratitude luncheon is right afterward. Thank you all to the volunteers, everybody that brought food. You know, what a bountiful buffet. We'll give it a blessing right before we go out there. So thank you all. What we're going to do is have you all get a beverage and then go to a table, and then we're going to go table by table to get in the line. So get a beverage, go hang out with your community, and then we'll, because Peggy's like, that long line, it just makes me nervous or something. I don't know. So we'll just have you come like at a wedding. You know how it goes. So, all right. If you like flowers and you're not really wanting to make a dedication, you can always, there's a flowered box that's going to be on this table, and you're welcome to just put a little bucks in it or two, and then when we get enough, we'll have a dedication. All right. We will be having we have a prayer ministry, and you're welcome to call the number. It's a prayer line, and the email is prayer@santabarbaraunity.org. You can put prayers in the prayer box in the back, and we have a prayer team that prays over them for 30 days, and they're sent also to Silent Unity for prayer. So it's a very powerful way to be in gratitude. Thanks again, you all, for all the volunteering, for these great volunteers, for the ushers and all the people that do so many things here. So thank you to Lynda. And we're all going to stand and sing our peace song, and then we'll have our prayer for protection, and then we'll bless the food. All right.
With God
quick reminder that the Christmas cantata is December 17th at 7, and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve are going to be at 5 p.m. Just to mark your calendar. Here we go. Prayer for protection.
Our prayer for protection, please join me. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Blessings.
We're going to stay here just one moment, everybody. Hang on. We're just going to have a little blessing for our food, all right? Because I know once you get out there, it'll be pandemonium of gratitude. So let's just go into our hearts and feel the sense of this incredible community, the power of the love and the gratitude. We bless all the food and the energy of everyone bringing this wonderful, putting this bountiful buffet together. May it bless our bodies to go on to do the glorious things we are born to do. And so it is. Thank you, God, and all is well. Let's eat. Yes, yes, yes. Thanks, Nathalie.